Welcome you all. Welcome you all to today's webinar on Horizon Results Platform, the centralized portal of the EU-funded research results, where beneficiaries can manage and advertise their project results to desired audiences and key stakeholders. Firstly, allow me to introduce myself. I'm George Christou, Scientific Officer at the Cyprus Research and Innovation Foundation, the organization who hosts the national NCP system in the country. I will coordinate today's session. So, as you are all aware, Bridge to Horizon Europe is a support and coordination action funded by the European Commission under Horizon 2020, aiming to facilitate the transition from Horizon 2020 to Horizon Europe through the NCP support structures. You may have already benefited from workshops, trainings, brokered events, courses from the newly issued virtual campus, or other tools and services developed by the project, or even visited the Horizon Europe NCP portal. Now on the agenda items, we will start with a presentation of the Horizon Results platform, what it is and who can benefit from it, including a live demo and a simulation. Some insights on the future plans for the platform enhancement will follow. And of course, we will conclude with the NCP role now and in the future. Before we start, some etiquette rules. Please note that the webinar will be recorded and the video as well as the presentation slides will be made available afterwards. We would like to keep your microphones and camera off during the presentation. You can submit your questions during the presentation using the Zoom Q&A function, which is located down in the middle of your screen. Of course, at the end of the presentation and discussion session is foreseen as well, where you can raise further points for discussion using the Zoom raise hand function. Finally, at the end, we will request your feedback, asking you to complete a short feedback form. Of course, your opinion, as usual, counts and is very important for the continuous improvement of our activities and services, of course. We're very pleased to have today with us Mr. Georgios Lysandridis, Horizon Europe Platform Team Leader at DG Research and Innovation at the European Commission. Georgios, thank you very much for your willingness to participate and your presence, of course, here today. And without further ado, Georgios, the floor is yours. Enjoy the webinar.
Thank you very much, George and Christagis, for inviting me to speak to this webinar. I don't know whether people can see my camera and can hear me. Can you please confirm?
Yes, I can confirm that we can see you and we can hear you very well.
That's great. I will go ahead and share my screen then. Okay. And please tell me whether you can see my screen. Can everyone see my screen now?
Yes, we can see you, George.
Excellent. Okay, so welcome everyone. Thank you for the introduction, George. Happy to be here to present the Horizon Results platform. Some of you may have seen this platform before, but this presentation is timely because certain things have changed. The platform has evolved. There are more results in it, and we have some plans for the future that we would like to share with you today. And of course, we would like to see with you how best we can work together to make this platform known and successful, because we consider that you as national contact points are our best ambassadors within your member states and within your thematic areas to promote results and to promote the beneficiaries. So thank you for joining me today. Why doesn't this move? Okay, so as George briefly mentioned, I will give you a quick introduction to what the platform is. Then I will give you a live demo. I will spend more time on the live demo because I think this will be more interesting for you. and then I will share a few things about what we plan to do in the future. And then I would share a few ideas that we had on perhaps how we can work together, how you can help us, and how we can make the platform work better for you, for your own needs. And then we can have an open discussion. So first of all, the vision. And the vision is that we would like all of our results funded by R&I to be in one place so that people can find them. The criticism that we have had in the past as Europeans is that we do great at funding research, we do great at creating knowledge, but we're not that good at valorizing this knowledge. And I think it's a very fair criticism. If you see all the innovation scorecards comparing us with other countries or continents like the US or China or Japan, we always seem to lag a bit behind when it comes to innovation, when it comes to making these results into some value-added innovations that are sold in the market or are used for policy making. And our commissioner, Gabriel, as well as the, let's say, the person who inspired us in the past from the so-called Lamy report into creating this platform, would be very happy that we make these results visible, that we provide the opportunity to our beneficiaries to go out there and find people that can use these results and make something of value to our society and our economy and, of course, our planet. So this is our ultimate vision. We say Vision 2025 because we have clear plans on how to get to 2025 by offering a complete set of tools for our beneficiaries to enable this vision. And of course, from then on, there will be more things to come. But I think that the time frame that we're looking at is ambitious enough. Now, who is this tool for and what is it used for? As I said earlier, it's a tool for our beneficiaries who want to disseminate their key exploitable results. And I will come to the definition of a key exploitable result in a minute. The difference between other platforms is that within this platform, our beneficiaries can actually target, they can say who they want to see this result, and they can express their current needs. And they can bring in a lot of valuable information for whoever is going to come on the other side to use this result. And depending on what they want to address, depending if it's an investor or is a policymaker, they will be asked to provide accordingly the proper information. For example, if they want to reach out to an investor, they will be asked questions that investors want to know about before contacting them. If they want to reach out to a decision maker, then they will be asked, or a policymaker, they will be asked questions on what their influence in policy is. So the tool is designed in a way to accommodate for not only all results and all kinds of the diverse results that we have from our framework programs, but also the diversity of the potential stakeholders and audiences that come and visit this platform. So speaking of stakeholders, that's the next bullet point. It is a tool for stakeholders who engage with our beneficiaries. Of course, I spoke about investors and I spoke about decision makers, but of course, there are many, many other actors and enablers in this process. We cannot expect that the decision makers will go into this platform and spend hours searching what the best result is, or the investors will be looking intently into all the potential business opportunities they can invest in. But we expect that a lot of our so-called actors of the valorization ecosystem can help in this process. And particularly national contact points could be very valuable in helping us bringing the results in, looking at the results, making sure that these results from the countries of origin, from their countries of origin, are accurately represented and they're addressing the right stakeholders, etc. So we would discuss this later on how you can actually help us do that. But I think that your contribution will be very, very valuable. And finally, the tool is for the European Commission itself, because when later you see the results, you will see that there is a rich amount of information that comes in, and this can definitely help us formulate policy. Our policy colleagues are rubbing their hands with the information they have been able to extract from the platform already, and this definitely helps us because we are one step closer to reality, what these results are producing and what they need, and therefore we can direct our actions with more informed views. Now, we say that in this platform we want key exploitable results. We don't want all of the results that come out of the program, because we want them to be the important results. And you see the definition here, the official definition, which is a result is any tangible or intangible output of the action of the project in this case, such as data, knowledge, and information, whatever their form or nature, whether or not they can be protected, which are generated in the action, as well as any attached rights, including intellectual property rights. Now, this is the definition, the official definition of a result in Horizon 2020, and it is very, very similar in Horizon Europe. But what we're interested in for the Horizon Results platform is the so-called key exploitable results. So they have to be selected and prioritized, and they have to be chosen based on their high potential to be exploited, meaning to make use and derive benefits downstream the value chain of a product, process, or solution, or act as an important input to policy, further research, or education. So the message is basically project deliverables are not necessarily key exploitable results. Or, for example, outcomes of a conference of the project and the minutes thereof are not key exploitable results. So please bear that in mind when you speak to your beneficiaries, that it is only the really important things that they need to put in this platform. Of course, we have project repositories like Cordis, which will in any case contain all the results, key exploitable or not. But this is not the purpose of this platform. The purpose of this platform is to really act as a sort of, I would dare say, a LinkedIn type of thing, which is a live platform where you want to sell your CV. In this particular case, you are selling your result. So a quick story of the Horizon Results platform. It was launched back in 2019, late 2019, during the EU R&I days, the first ever EU R&I days, with a pilot. At that time, we had consulted with a lot of our project officer colleagues to propose projects that would be in this pilot. Since then, it has evolved. As you can see, most of his lifetime has been in COVID years. So unfortunately, this has not been very beneficial for its growth. However, we are very happy that it has evolved and grown the last couple of years, even during COVID, which took away most of our attention in the world. However, we even did a COVID solutions campaign in 2020, in early 2020, and combined with the services offered through the Horizon Results Booster, we have been able to make this platform grow. We have been, during this time, making collaborations with several other platforms. You may have been aware of the Innovation Radar platform. or the Blue Invest platform and other platforms that the Commission owns, and also with several different networks of actors. For example, yourselves, the national contact points, we consider as the main ambassadors of the Horizon Europe, the Horizon programs in general, but also from the commercial point of view, we are addressing the Enterprise Europe Network advisors, and also the private investors, the European Business Angel Network, the Business Angels Europe, and several other investors networks. Now, we are at the point now towards the end of 2021 where we have already started onboarding other programs other than Horizon programs, because this platform is supposed to be a corporate platform, and we would then be able to onboard programs with an R&I component and with a clear innovation-driven with an innovation-driven, let's say, flavor. For example, the European Maritime and Fisheries Fund has already joined the platform, and very soon, okay, it's not a different program, but the European Institute of Innovation and Technology, Knowledge Innovation, the KICS, will be joining us soon. And there are other potential programs like the LIFE program that can join soon. I will come to this later when I talk about future plans. We will have a central role on the so-called EU missions. I'm sure you must have heard of the EU missions, the 5 EU missions. Horizon Results Platform will be the place where we will be inviting many of the potential solutions that could contribute to these missions to upload their results and making them accessible to our policy-making units for analysis and for direction, and also to the mission boards, the so-called mission boards. I will come back to this later in my presentation to say a couple more things about what's happening there. And a third component of our work in the future will be matchmaking. So we will be enhancing the possibility for the stakeholders that I mentioned earlier, so the policymakers, the investors, and all the actors that can help our beneficiaries to interact with our beneficiaries in the platform. And to complement all this, we are thinking already of the new booster services that we would like to offer our beneficiaries that will mainly reflect what is happening today with the Horizon Result Booster services, but we will add more and have a more end-to-end type of service offering there. At least this is what we're planning on. Now, who benefits from the platform? I think that you have already deduced that yourselves from what I said so far. So it's the result producers, our beneficiaries, the result consumers, those who can use the results, investors or policymakers, and of course, the brokers and enablers, as I call the actors that can help us in this valorization ecosystem. So for instance, for you, it'd be very easy to go and find out all the project results of your beneficiaries and communicate with them directly. And if you would like to invite them or do a sort of event, then you can do that. You can give them advice if they have specific needs that you think you can help them with, etc. And I will show you in the demo how you can do that. Speaking quickly about the valorization ecosystem, as I mentioned earlier, okay, we are looking at the world from the point of view of the Horizon Results Platform, and we have our close, let's say, collaborators within the Commission. Then we have our contact points. We have you guys that can help us in this valorization ecosystem. And then we have the consumers. This is from the point of view of valorizing the results. So don't, this is the context of this diagram here. There is no other meaning to it other than how we view our scope from the point of view of the Horizon Results platform. Now, one important thing about what's new under Horizon Europe, in particular with respect to the Horizon Results platform. In the Horizon Europe text, there is a clear article about exploitation and dissemination. There will be a requirement for our beneficiaries to, if within a certain period after the end of the project, in particular it's a year after the end of the project, if the beneficiaries do not find a way to exploit their result, then they will have to publish it in a platform, in an appropriate online platform. And of course, this can be waived, this obligation can be waived if justified. And of course, you know, it could be justified through if there is something sensitive in the result that our beneficiaries think that should not be published anywhere, and we would be fully understanding. And in the Horizon Europe Model Grant Agreement, Article 16, it is actually the Horizon Results platform that is defined as this platform of which is the appropriate online platform. So please be aware of this. We don't want to exaggerate the message to our beneficiaries that, oh, you must absolutely put your result in the platform. We want to rather convince our beneficiaries that there is value to be had from this platform when they do publish the results in our platform. And we actually work hard behind the scenes in a team here in the European Commission to look into the results and to actually try to address the needs of our beneficiaries. So please carry this message down when you speak to your beneficiaries. Yes, it is an obligation. However, they shouldn't see it as a penalization, but rather as something that can really add value to their efforts. And I would like to say a word about a project that we launched in April this year, the HRP TV, Horizon Results Platform TV. This is a tool that comes as a complementary addition to our beneficiaries, including the Horizon Results platform. This tool goes to our beneficiaries and addresses their needs. So the Horizon Results platform, we allow our beneficiaries to come in and publish a result and express their needs. And here with HRP TV, we try to bring in these actors, these experts that can help them with their needs and also to inspire them. So we try to inspire them to follow this entrepreneurship path and to create companies from their results and go out in the market, or to at least partner with someone who can bring a value-added product to the market or to policy. So this is the scope of the HRP TV. It's quite exciting. We have already had an interview from a national contact point from your network, who happens to also be an Enterprise Europe network advisor. So I will show you this when I go to the demo, but I would, you're welcome to have a look at those interviews. They're very interesting. And to, of course, raise awareness among our beneficiaries on HRP TV. Now, a word on missions before I go for the demo. As you're aware, the EU missions, the 5 EU missions have recently been adopted. And this is something that our hierarchy and the European Commission in general is very, very keen on the following. So we have these 5 EU missions, and my unit in DGRTD, the Common Implementation Center, will be key in the so-called portfolio management for these missions. And the slide I show you here is a sort of example of how we would address this portfolio creation of the emissions. And in fact, this is where we would see a lot of added value from you, the national contact points. In the near future, we will be launching campaigns to attract potential project results that could have a contribution to these EU missions. There will be letters from our hierarchy, from Jean-Éric Baguet, the Director General of Research and Innovation, DG, addressing these projects to upload their results in the platform, and then creating the portfolio for analysis for our policy units, as I mentioned before. We will keep you in the loop about this. It will be an ongoing process for the next years, and we would really value your contribution to this. So enough with the slides. I would really like to give you now a demo. Give me a moment. So please let me know if you can see my screen here. Because I don't know whether you
yes, we can see it, yours.
Okay, thank you very much, because I cannot I have all the other things disabled and I cannot know whether you can see or hear me. Anyway, so here is the platform. The platform is under the Funding and Tenders portal. It's a little bit tricky to find if you navigate through the portal itself. So my advice is to simply go to Google and type Horizon Results Platform, and it will be the first thing that comes up. We are working with our colleagues in the Funding and Tenders portal to make it more accessible. And at some point, you will probably see it landing somewhere in the main page of the Funding and Tenders portal with a direct link. Right now, it's a little bit complicated. You have to go through project and results. You have to filter on Horizon 2020, and then you have to scroll down a list. So I will skip through that. This is how most of the people find it anyway. So here we are. So I will not go through the details of the site. You have a news section here. You have the results of our COVID-19 campaign that we launched last year. A little introduction. Beneficiaries can go directly through this shortcut to publish their results, which I will show you in a minute. We have some quick searches here, pre-filtered, policy-related results on the path to innovation, advancing the research and technology. So clearly you can see based on the description what types of results are behind. Latest results, here we have the latest in results, the last published results. So you see here the last ones that came in. A few testimonials from some of those actors that I was speaking about before. Here is an inspiring individual, a doctor who created a technology, an AI technology that helps evaluate patients. And they actually applied this for COVID, and they had been very successful. They had installed this in all over Austria, all the hospitals, and they can detect COVID through a questionnaire. I'm not an expert, so I will not go into the details. Here is the Director General of the European Business Angels Network. Here is Camille Lepinet, the National Contact Point and Enterprise Europe Network Advisor that I spoke to you about earlier. Here is Cyril de Maria. He's an owner, president of a venture capital firm. We contacted him because he drafted a very interesting report, a very interesting study for our colleagues in DG ENER, particularly helping entrepreneurs, how researchers can become entrepreneurs, which is very, very relevant to what we're trying to do here with this platform. And some of the questions that we ask in the platform have been inspired by him. And here is Dr. Tassos Kounoudis, again, an inspirational individual who has become an entrepreneur from a researcher and has a lot of successful projects in his domain in digital signal processing, and is one of the most successful SMEs in Cyprus. Here is our partners, the Horizon Results Booster that I spoke about earlier, Horizon Impact Award. Horizon Impact Award is an award that we issue every year, and it's purely based on how much impact a project has produced. You can read about it here. The HRPTV, which I'll show you in a minute, and one of our other close partners, the Enterprise Europe Network, particularly when it comes to the business-oriented matchmaking. So I will go straight in the platform and show you very quickly. When you search all, you have these filters. And then you have all these results. And you can search these results by many filters. So let's make a pause here and go, and I will quickly show you how our beneficiaries upload these results. And then I will come back to this one and show you how they look after they're uploaded. Here I am in a different version of the platform. This is the acceptance environment. So I will show you in this environment how our beneficiaries upload the results. Bear with me because this is a rather slower environment than the production environment. However, I need absolute concentration when I type my very long password. This is a better place for me to show you because of obvious reasons. The production environment is for the real results. But the idea is that our beneficiaries, if they have the coordinator contact role or the participant contact role in a project, they are enabled to upload results. So those are the two roles that can upload results. Now, on the left panel, when they log in, they will go to the My Projects panel. And here, they will be able to see all of their projects. Okay, so this is a list of their projects. And all they have to do is select the project that they want to upload the result for. Click on the Actions button, go to Projects and Results. And when they go there, they will see all of their existing published results, which they can edit, or they can create a new result. So how do you create a new result? You just click the green button, Create Result, and then they will see this message where we remind them of what a key exploitable result is. And this is important so that we make sure that it's only key exploitable result. Now, when they go there, they also see the user guide. And I will show you very briefly the user guide. And I will go through it again, because here we explain absolutely everything there is to know about the platform. And this is a very important link. Okay, I am in the acceptance environment right now. But nevertheless, here, if you go to the, I will show you the real one, not this one. This is not the most updated. But the user guide explains all the fields, all I'm about to explain now. And I will show you how to get to it from the production version of the platform. So if I click OK, then I'm a coordinator contact or participant contact, and I create a result for this project. So I will go quickly through this field. Title, message, teaser to the potential user. My result is, I can have a video or an image linked to it. And just to save some time, I prepared. So when you put a YouTube video, you see it. You see the preview of it here. Result type is an important element of the form because depending on what you choose here, you are asked different questions. If you choose policy-related result, we are not going to ask about investors and all that, for example. But if you say that my result is a scientific technological R&D result, including ICT hardware, then you will get different kinds of questions. This is all explained in that user manual, by the way. Then you can select your target audiences. It's again very important. You have a list here. Okay, some of them say, no, I don't have a specific audience, but I really want people to know about my result. They can choose that. Or they can choose public or private funding institutions, for example. Yeah, actors who can help us fulfill our market potential, and private investors. They can choose up to 3. Depending on the choices of this target audiences, then you will see different needs that you can say that you can select. For example, when I tick private investors, I can see that, I can choose business angels, venture capital, or crowdfunding entity, for example. My needs are that. And specifically what I'm looking for is I want an investment of 100,000 euros, for example, or are looking for investors in my area. This is a free text, so it's better to save in every step and then go to the next step, about us. So the main project is the one that I had chosen at the beginning before I clicked the actions button. But if this result comes from, or there are other projects that have contributed to this result in the past, it's often the case that technology evolves from FP7 to Horizon 2020, etc. So if there was a previous project in FP7 and now there is a project in Horizon 2020 that all created a little bit of this components that produced this result, then I can link to them here. I can choose among all the project partners which are the result contributors. If there are 3 project partners that you will see here, it might be that only 2 contributed to this particular result. Furthermore, it might only be one of those 2 that actually owns the result based on what was agreed within the consortium. So you have 3 partners, 2 of them contributed to this particular result of the project. There could be 2, 3, 4 results out of the project, but this particular one, 2 of them contributed to, and only one, GE Aviation Systems, owns the result for exploitation purposes, for selling it. We asked the question here, has there been a startup that was created? You can say yes or no, and you can drop a little logo. And here you can put testimonials, references. Imagine something like your CV or your profile on LinkedIn, where you can bring in your colleagues to give a word for you, or you can just include references, links to those references yourselves. So for example, here, I will say that, okay, I'm trying to sell my Horizon Results platform. It doesn't like the link, it's too long. So I will just use some random link. We can just put okay, and then you click add, and then you have your testimonial here, the link to your testimonial. And then here you can put where you can be found. You can put your LinkedIn profile, for example. Quickly put mine. I don't know if it's going to. There you go. I can save the draft, go to the next. Result description and influence. I can have details on my results. Then I can choose the actual sectors. I can say it's energy, for example. I can add a few keywords. Really, I can choose to which United Nations Sustainable Development Goals I contribute to. Is this a radical innovation breakthrough? I encourage you to read about that in the manual. I will show you where to find it. It's a study that, a foresight analysis that DGRTD launched a few years ago in 2019, and where our colleagues are looking into the potential radical innovation breakthroughs of the future. World Alliance for 1,000 Solutions, another platform / foundation that we collaborate with, specifically for clean tech solutions. It's all going to be in that link that I will show you later. What is your influence on policy? If I say I influence policy, then I have to explain how. And then other information to share, which I will not do for the sake of time. I click next. This is the, for commercially oriented result, I select the level of maturity. So the so-called TRL, but with also the so-called investment readiness level and commercial readiness level. You can see the little graph here. Not here, this is the acceptance environment. I will show you this in the production. Current steps. Next steps. Do you already have customers? Yes. I have 6 to 30 customers. I have results from SMEs, academia, or individuals. From these different areas. My unique value proposition. And I have a scalable business model. Now I will say no, because if I say yes, I have to fill in something there. So I will leave them as no's. I can select my geographical targets for my business. I can tell the potential investors if my solution is replicable, if my business model is sustainable, if my result is scalable, my business is scalable, etc. And then to conclude quickly, we have the so-called investors corner, which is obviously targeted for investors. We can say here how much money we want if we are addressing investors, and we can tick all these flags here. These are elements that investors are particularly interested in when they evaluate a potential opportunity. So this is it. I'm done. I click next, and here I have a summary, including a preview of the video and all the things I entered, and then I can publish. And what will happen in the background is that all my partners will receive a notification, and the project officer will receive a notification, and this result will be published during the night officially in the Horizon Results platform. So I'm going to close this acceptance environment. I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to just quickly show you where you can find all this information, which describes everything. I am in the main platform here, the official platform. If you go to the Need Help on the right-hand side and go to the IT How-To, you will find everything I just described here, A to Z, how to upload your results, and the step 2, how to fill in the form. And here it walks you through the entire thing. It explains all the fields. It explains the target audiences with the respective needs. It describes everything, including the maturity levels that I mentioned before. So you have the TRL, commercial readiness level, investment readiness level, and everything else that we ask. What is a sustainable business model? The entrepreneur's guide that inspired the investor's corner, etc. So this is a very important link here for you. Now, going back to the platform, just to conclude the demo, we have all these results and we want to search them. And here you can filter them by keywords. One of the EU missions is on cancer. So if I just type in cancer here, you can see that there are 24 results. And just for you to be able to see how a result would look like officially, here it is. So I showed you the different testing environment, but here is the public one, the public version. And this is what you get. You get a video, you get the title, you get the teaser, you get those keywords we spoke about. Who is doing this? It's this organization here. The details of the results. Who are the target audiences and the needs? The UN Sustainable Development Goals it contributes to, and then the description of the business behind the potential business criteria, the business relevant information, the unique value proposition, and the investor's corner. And down here, you see the relevant projects. And apart from a keyword, you can search based on several things. You can search based on country. Of course, this is very relevant for you. And here is where I would like to tell you that in the near future, we will not only have the country, but we will have the region of the country within. So you will be able to search within your regions. This is something that was requested to us, and we can understand the value of it. And of course, we are going to work on developing it. So be aware of it. It will be in the tool officially in a few months' time, hopefully. This is a very important filter as well, looking for, because it matches the needs that our beneficiaries have uploaded. So for example, if now I'm visiting this platform and I am a business angel, I can just go and see which of these projects are looking for business angels. And if I'm a business angel, I'm interested to find not too early, but earlier stage maturity of solutions. So for example, TRL 5 or 6. So I filter based on the maturity. And again, I might be a bit picky with IP. For example, I want for sure that these people have already intellectual property and it's already protected. So if I go to the investor readiness flags, I can select and make sure that, okay, I want to find, oh yeah, I want those who have already patents. So here I've honed down my search based on my criteria as business angel. And you can imagine that depending on what you're looking for, you can do the same using different criteria, different filters. I would really encourage you to look at this list of advanced filters. And we have a very rich set of filters here that could cater to anyone. If one is interested in policy influence, for example, go for that filter directly, say yes, okay, that there's 419, but I am interested in the area of environment or energy. So I will go and select the EC policy area that is equivalent to energy. So here I see a list of results that claim at least that they have influenced policy in the area of energy. And of course, I can make it a bit more detailed as well. I could have another word, efficiency, for example, because I'm interested in energy efficiency. So I go even further down, and so on and so forth. You can do a lot of things, play with the filters here. And very soon, we will be able to have an AI-based type of search here. So it will be a little bit more intelligent. I mean, meaning the filter by right now is a kind of basic search with just the keyword and much of a keyword. But in the future, it will be more intelligent. So for instance, if you type cancer and somewhere in a result, there is the keyword biopsy, then it will fall within those results, just to give you an idea. So this is it for the demo. You can clearly see how you can look for beneficiaries in your country for the moment. In the very near future, you will be able to look for beneficiaries in your region and in the area of interest that you have. So I'm going to go back to the slides now. And since we are a bit running out of time, but I think that I wanted to spend more time with the platform itself than the slides. So I hope this is okay for you. Plans for the future. We want to make it more interactive. So we want to enable our beneficiaries to publish announcements on their projects, sort of like what you see on a news station. I don't know, like Euronews. You see the breaking news in the bottom of your screen coming in. Imagine something similar. Okay, not so sophisticated, but the idea is that we want to give the project results the opportunity to publish these announcements when, for example, they are launching a fundraising round, or they have a milestone event, or they have a meeting or a pre-IPO decision coming up, etc. So that's the main idea. So it will look something like this on the landing page, and then when you click on the announcement, you go to a specific page and you will be able to look at these announcements. The other thing we want to do is to make it more interactive, is to expand what you know of today, this partner search that is on the Funding and Tenders portal. Right now, the Funding and Tenders portal offers the possibility for organizations to find each other and to bid for a proposal together. Imagine that we expand this a little bit and we invite all these investors and entrepreneurs to create profiles and looking for results to invest in, for example. So this is the general idea, and this is what we are working on right now. We're in the design phase. And if you have any ideas on this, then you're welcome to bring them up later in the discussion. We also want to address, in this matchmaking idea, we want to have the so-called challenge-driven matchmaking. So, for example, if a municipality of a given member state has a particular problem with water irrigation or water or wastewater management, etc., they could come to the platform and say, okay, we have this challenge in our city. We need to find a better way to treat the wastewater from our houses, because right now we don't have the right chemicals to treat it. The landscape is so on and forth. So we're looking for interesting solutions to help us address this. So if any of you have any interesting solutions, you can apply. And then when these organizations publish these challenges like such in the Horizon Results platform, obviously our beneficiaries will be able to come in and answer these challenges and say how they can address them. And if that municipality accepts their solution, then you have a match. They can do business together, they can do public procurement for their solution, etc. But this is the general idea. And again, we welcome your ideas later in the discussion. Seem to have lost my mouse. There it is. And the other idea that we have in the future that I spoke about very briefly at the beginning when I showed you the diagram of the history, we want to have an end-to-end service. Today we have several different services. We have the EU IP help desk. We have the ASTP, the technology transfer offices. You have the Horizon Results Booster. We would like to, if possible, to have one place where a single point of contact for the beneficiary that they call and they say, this is my result. This is what I need. Can you please guide me through all the steps from now till the end that I commercialize my product, or until I bring this report to the right decision maker? This is the idea we have in mind at the conceptual level. For some angel mentor, I don't know how you want to call him or her, to be able to take a beneficiary by the hand and lead them all the way to the end. This angel, or whatever we want to call them, should be able to contact behind them the appropriate service. Do you need help with protecting your intellectual property? I can get you an expert. Do you need help with change management of your organization to manage the new innovations? I will take care of it for you. Do you need help to be introduced to investors later on? I will find them for you. That's the idea. It's at the conceptual stage. We will be studying it. Maybe we will even launch a study next year to get some more advice. But we hope that we can have something like this in 2025. I know it's a little bit far in the future, but if we're going to have something like this, we need to already start thinking about it. The other thing what we're doing now, onboarding programs that are relevant to R&I, that have a strong R&I component, and have some kind of commercial oriented outlook. And definitely the European Maritime and Fisheries Fund has a definite R&I component and outlook. We worked with the Blue Invest platform from DG Mare already last year, and we had both solutions from the EMFF program as well as Horizon 2020 pitching in front of investors. The EIT kicks have very, very innovation-driven projects, as some of you may be aware. So we are hoping that they will come in soon with their results. And we have also been contacted by a few aeronets that would like to upload their results here. So we will be looking into those in the future. Aeronets and Horizon Europe partnerships, which is going to be their new name. And of course, the LIFE program is another candidate that comes to mind to be onboarded. Now, going to the last part, I will share a few ideas with you on how you as national contact points can help us, and how we, we can help you in valorizing the results of our beneficiaries in general. So I'm going to throw a few ideas to conclude the presentation, and then we can then go to the questions and answers and the discussion that as we said in the agenda. So one obvious thing that you could do is you could obviously promote the platform among your beneficiaries. And we would really be thankful if you do that. You could help them, guide them on how to upload results in the platform. And of course, you know, you don't hesitate to call us for help, to email us for help. I will put our email address at the end of the presentation in the chat so that you can have it. The other thing is through your projects, you can do presentations and webinars to your stakeholders. The idea is to make this platform well known. Why? Because the results of our beneficiaries are there. So by making this platform known, you're bringing more and more potential stakeholders in closer to our beneficiaries. And if you can mediate within your beneficiaries and help identify results that you think can contribute to the missions over the next months and years, we would be glad to keep you in the loop with these missions and get you involved. The other thing is obviously you can search the platform and find the beneficiaries that are within your responsibility and within your geographical region. And you can contact them directly if there's something you want to address to them. You can invite them to have meetings for networking purposes, and so on and so forth. I mean, you have the freedom to use the platform in any way you think could add value to your beneficiaries. So with that, I would like to close. I'm only 4 minutes late, which is a big achievement. And I would like to now give you the floor for questions and any questions you may have, and also discussion on how you think you can be involved. There's one more question that I was going to ask you, something to think about for our discussion. If you have any ideas on how we can improve the platform, or how can it better serve the beneficiaries, and how to make it easier for you to use. And if you have any ideas, obviously, about how you want to get involved, we are very welcome. You are very welcome to express them, and you are very welcome to join us in this project, which I think is a collective project. Is not a project of us, me, or the team, or the commission, but all of us together to help our beneficiaries valorize these results in Europe. So with that, I will close the presentation. Thank you. And we can go ahead and go to the Q&A.
Indeed, thank you very much, Georgios. Now it's time for the Q&A session. And I'm very pleased to see a number of them. All of them seems to be very, very interesting, and we're looking forward for your answer. I'm going to start with the first question in the Q&A today. The question is as follows: will the obligation to publish the results on the Horizon Result platform 1 year after the end of the project applicable for all the results, or only for the key exploitable results?
It's only for the key exploitable results. Again, the obligation is waivable. As I said earlier, if there is a good justification why not to publish the results in the platform, then you don't have to. We want to sell the platform as a tool for value added. If it's not adding value and you don't see it as such, we are not going to force people to publish their results. So
thank you.
But it is for key exploitable results only.
Thank you very much. It is associated with the next question. What kind of results should be submitted? Scientific papers, patents, or only market-ready results?
As I said, the definition of a key exploitable result is such that is any tangible or intangible result. Now, the particular question on scientific documents, if the audience is purely scientific, then it's not necessary to publish it here. It's more relevant for the European Open Science Cloud, the open air platform. However, if this scientific article has a strong influence or meaning for policymakers, then I would publish it here. I would say that the kinds of results that should be published in the platform is not market ready, because their maturity, you decide on their maturity, could be at the very early stage of maturity. So we don't expect you to wait until the project is mature, a result is mature to publish it in the platform. It can be in earlier stage. But if it's exploitable, if someone can come and take this result and use it as it is, or they can complement, add to it, and continue the progress of this result downstream. But yes, the main results that we will have is something that can be innovation, an end innovation, or a policy input, or educational input, like we said before. For scientific results, if you want to publish the scientific report in a different, the pure scientific elements in a different platform, which is meant for that purpose, and then come to the platform and say, look, I published this scientific report, but it's very important because in this summary, and you give this summary in the Horizon Results platform saying, there is a strong policy impact of this report, and this is how it's explained, then yes, you can publish it in the Horizon Results platform.
Very good, that's very clear. You have a very popular question asking if there is a quality check of the results that are published to the platform. So yeah.
There is a quality check. It is very difficult to go through each result that comes in. We considered having a validation step. However, this would put a lot of pressure on the project officers. And obviously, the team, myself, we are not experts in all the domains, the research domains. So we tried to embed this quality by asking the right questions. Now, the only aspect of quality that we cannot control is the text. For example, the message or teaser. There is a free text. People can put what they want. Having said all this, we try to have a so-called peer-to-peer soft validation process, meaning the project officers and all the partners get a notification before the result is published. And they can intervene in the process if they think that there is something wrong. However, we don't intervene directly to change data unless it's something to do with syntax errors or, for example, a bad title full of initials. And we have started creating a campaign addressing results one by one, in fact, and helping them improve the profile of their results. But the intention is not to go to too much detail, because then it becomes a very heavy process.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I will combine the next two questions in the chat. Do the beneficiaries have to provide the European Commission with a list of key exploitable results at some point during the project? This is something on the eligibility and the obligations of the beneficiaries and the applicants in general, and how the European Commission will monitor the obligation to publish results on the Horizon Results platform.
Very good question. So there is going to be a new reporting template for Horizon Europe. In that template, indeed, it would be an obligation for beneficiaries to declare results and to mark those that are key exploitable results. So you will have a table in that report, you will list all the results, and then you will say, this result is a key exploitable result. When they do that, they will see some kind of a pop-up or notification telling them, oh, did you publish your result in the Horizon Results platform or not? And at that stage, they will be reminded to do so. How we will monitor it, I think it will be through that report. So we will go and see that report within a year after. And if we see that there are indeed key exploitable results that have been listed there in that report that have not been uploaded in the platform, then we will contact the beneficiary and ask them, okay, why? And if there is a strong reason, of course, we will say, okay, fair enough, no need to publish in the platform. So this is roughly how we intend to monitor.
Thank you, Georgios. And there is another one interconnected question saying that somewhere is written, if no usage after a year, obligation to add to Horizon Results platform. That's what you have already said. What is the definition of usage?
Okay, that's a good question. I am not a lawyer, but I think what that means is basically, you created a result. If you found a customer, if you found someone that uses that result, then you can tell me, Yorgo, listen, I sold my result. It's being used here. So I don't have any needs from your platform anymore because I'm not looking for customers. So that's, in very simple terms, that's what I think that means. So if an investor already invested in your solution and if you don't want to put it in the platform, we're not going to force people. But this is the European Commission wants to know that we spend this money funding the projects. We want to know, okay, is it used somewhere? So that's the intention, really. Is someone using it? Is it adding value, or is it just on a shelf or on a digital drive somewhere, and it's lost and no one uses it? This is the idea. We want these results to be used. So by usage, is mean usage, really. I mean, if it's an investor, it means I bought the company, or if you have a solution, technological product that you sell the rights to someone, you say, okay, I'm done. I have no needs anymore. So I found a user, they use it, and I'm done. So that's how I would explain that.
Very good. We have a couple of questions, Georgios, about the potential overlaps with other initiatives and platforms. I will read them. Horizon Europe requires, through the open science requirements, that the research results are as open as possible. The Horizon Results platform is a certain overlap with this requirement. Do you have contact with your Commission colleagues in open science in order to maximize the use of different tools as it is Horizon Results platform? And matchmaking with investors, what's the difference with the InvestEU initiative, saying that there is an overlap as well?
Okay, so the first question about the open air platform, the question about the open science. The scientific results, the research results are one thing. That database is meant for the actual scientific research. It's not meant for commercially oriented results. The Horizon Results platform is more commercially oriented. And what I say to colleagues, like I said earlier, about the scientific stuff, the research data, it could be in one place, which is where the colleague mentioned there, the open science platform. And then if there is a commercial or exploitable thing to be had, then come to the platform. But if you're liaising with other researchers on sharing each other's information for the promotion of research itself, then it's out of scope of the Horizon Results platform. So that's the differentiation. InvestEU is a platform where there is a closed number of investors behind. The Euroquity has signed an agreement with the Commission. So only those investors have access to that platform, firstly. Secondly, the projects in InvestEU can be from one project manager from the EU, and the other two could be from anywhere in the world. And over there, the idea is that the project owner, or the one proposing to go on InvestEU, they can start this project within the next 3 years. It's a completely different scope. And I think they also have a minimum number of money that they should need before they can publish it there. The Horizon Results platform is a public website. We don't select the investors, we promote it to everyone. It's a global website. And the only scope, the scope that we have is that it has to be a beneficiary of our funding programs. The InvestEU platform could be anyone. It could be a company based in Europe that says, I want to build this, the East Gas Mes pipeline, for example, is a project that is posted in InvestEU. This is not, it's a huge infrastructure project. It's a different scope. We're interested only in solutions funded through the R&I programs. And we're looking to leverage on more funding from other actors other than EC funds. And it's open to all the world. It's open to all investors. We don't have a panel, an advisory board behind the platform, the Horizon Results platform. So those are the main differences. Very good. Thank you for the distinction.
The next question is asking, for the projects that are already finished, who will be responsible to upload the key exploitable results, and what is your suggestion on how to conduct this?
So we have a database of all the beneficiaries of all the participants since FP7. Of course, in many cases, then these people have disappeared, and some other companies have the results. But okay, we can only work with what we have. We contact these beneficiaries of closed projects already several times. It might be difficult for you to contact, I understand, but we will be extracting this data. And if you want to be involved in this process of promotion, we would welcome you and let us know. And then we can not only send it directly to them, but also put you in the loop. And then we can tell you who they are, these people, and then you can help us finding them. So that would be great if you actually can do this.
Mm-hmm. Very good. We have another two questions on communication issues, saying for the promotion of the platform to the stakeholders, will you provide communication materials on the platform? And the other one, as the platform is for the interest of policymaking at EU, national and regional level, will the portal be in different EU languages?
Okay. Unfortunately, it would not be in different languages. We are hosted in the Funding and Tenders portal, and for the time being, at least, it's not in scope to have different languages. The first question, we will, if need be, we will create material. Yes, we can. We have, in fact, we have asked for the creation of some brochure for next year. So. Electronic brochure, most wisely. So we will, when we have that information, and I mean, I think that we have very often meetings with the national contact points. Our colleague, Nicolo Quersi, who is in another unit in DG RTD, is the desk officer who is in charge of coordinating the national contact points, and through Nicolo, we can distribute this information to you. In fact, on the 29th of November, we are invited to speak to the Horizon Europe NCP coordinators. So we will be in close contact. So if there is a communication material to be shared, we will do so.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. Also, another question asking for clarification. When you talk about involvement in the platform and talk about the EU missions, do you mean, for instance, mission on cancer?
Yes.
I assume that is not limited only to a certain mission, Georgios, isn't it?
No, it's not limited to. So, for example, so there are the mission on cancer, the oceans and seas, the climate change adaptation, the sustainable cities, and the soil health. These are the 5 missions. But I mean, there are other challenges out there, and we may have other campaigns. So yes, when we do launch these campaigns for missions, we'd be happy to put you in the loop. This is what we mean there, those 5 EU missions. But what I'm saying is that there could be other specific challenges that are not addressed through the missions that we can also put you in the loop.
Very good, thank you. Also, another interest question asking about any use of the platform for projects in Pillar 1, which cover the excellent science. Versus, I mean, that the key exploitable results are more innovation driven, etc.
No, absolutely. I think that the example I showed you earlier is from the ERC. So we have a lot of very interesting ERC projects on the platform. If you want, I can show you quickly that result, but if you go and find this, the result that I show you on the cancer, when I did the cancer search, that particular result is an ERC result. So it's open to all parts of Horizon, the platform.
Very good. So it depends on the beneficiary on how to approach the exploitation of his or her results. Also, another 2 questions on the connectivity and interconnections with other initiatives. Will this portal be connected to scientific results of the project, i.e. OpenAIR or Zenodo platform? You have already talked a little bit about it.
Yes, we don't have a one-to-one connection, but the question has come up before, and the answer is that it's a different scope. That platform has purely research-related information, whereas for us, it's more commercial-oriented information. But as I said, if there is a relevance for a decision maker or a policy maker, or if there is some kind of a entrepreneurship flavor in that result, we welcome these results to come to Horizon Results platform. And one thing to note is that Horizon Results platform, the results can be removed. We don't want to have a history. So if someone is actively looking for an investor, they can be in the platform. If they want to stay, they can stay. But if there's been 2 or 3 years that nothing happened with that result, we will be removing them. In other words, it's not something like Cordis or a repository that is static. It will keep changing. And when a beneficiary uploads a result, which is at the given maturity stage now, if in a year's time it changes, then they are welcome and encouraged to come back and update the result. The platform is live. Just like on LinkedIn, you can upload anytime you want something. It's the same here. So I hope this is clarified.
Yeah, that's clear. And further to that, there is a suggestion to be a link with the matchmaking events organized by the Enterprise Europe Network. And also a possible connections with the EU dashboard. There are some difference versus the Horizon platform, but please provide your comment on that.
These are excellent questions. So Enterprise Europe Network, we have been talking to the colleagues from the EISMEA agency for a while now. We have a huge workshop with all of the advisors on December 7th, so in a couple of weeks' time. And we have already contacted all the coordinating entities of the Enterprise Europe Network, informing them about the results that are in their areas. And we are going to enhance this collaboration. Now, about specifically matchmaking through the Enterprise Europe Network, this is what we're discussing right now with the Enterprise Europe Network on how to achieve that, perhaps not through events from them, but from the advisors themselves coming to the platform, searching, contacting beneficiaries, and vice versa. So we're trying to build a direct contact with the advisors at the working level. And this is very exciting because we look forward to that collaboration, because I think that the Enterprise Europe Network can be of huge value added to the beneficiaries.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Also, there is a question saying that when it comes to key exploitable results from projects flagged as strategic autonomy ones, can also be uploaded to the platform.
I'm not sure what strategic autonomy. I mean,
yes, if I'm getting it right, there are some topics under some certain clusters, like cluster 4 space, that there is a different process on them regarding their protection of the strategic autonomy of the Union. So some different obligations and eligibility, maybe conditions are applied on them. So does this flag affect any kind of the exploitation of their results, or they're uploading to the platform?
No, there is no there's no rule there. The rule is just one rule. Anyone who has a funded project under Horizon Europe or Horizon 2020 has the right to upload this result. Now the question is, if you have sensitive information that you think, because this is a public platform, it's accessible globally. If you have sensitive information which you think might compromise your solution or give away information to a competitor, or even worse, a geopolitical enemy of Europe, then please don't publish it, or publish it in a way that this is not revealing anything of the sort, but giving a slight flavor of what the result is, but without giving away the secret. So but there is no rule. Now I think that if the person asking is referring to this article 22.5, if I remember.
Yeah, 22.5, yeah.
22.5, then I have to learn more about it, to be honest with you. I think, but again, as I said, if you exercise this rule, or rule of thumb, I would say, as open as possible, as closed as necessary. This is something that some colleagues from EARTO use a lot. So open it as much as possible, but keep it closed as much as necessary. That's what I would say. Now, having said all this, I have to check again whether there's any legal rule whereby we say, no, these results should not be published anywhere. And until the time comes that we have results from Horizon Europe, I think we will have a very straight answer for you.
Thank you. And I assume, George, that this is something that can be discussed with the European Commission during the grant agreement preparation, etc. So I think it's something that will be included on that kind of negotiations. There is a technical question asking if there is a filtering if the published results are coming from a CSA, RIA, or RIA projects.
No, the answer is no. There is no public filter of that sort. We do have that information somewhere internally. If you think that this is important, then we can consider having a report for the NCPs. But for a public platform, we didn't think that it would be interesting for external stakeholders, at least, to know where it comes from. So But you know, if you think that it's necessary, then we can check with our Digit colleagues to produce a report.
Thank you, Georgios. I think that the time is running off, so I will try to take one or two questions or more if you are okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say, do you have any kind of feedback by investors or business angels if they are really using the platform?
Yes, absolutely. We have received quite a few testimonials, or let's say letters from various different investors. You know, one of which is our Euronews film with Cyril de Maria. In the next months, we are organizing investors events, in fact, with the European Business Angels Network and the Business Angels Europe. Unfortunately, because of GDPR rules, we don't know who visits the platform unless they have a ECAS ID, and we can save their searches, but that is not the case today. So I can't give you numbers. What I can say is that we have roughly 5,000 to 6,000 visits per month. In a platform like this, it's not the number of visits that matters, it's the who. But unfortunately, we don't have access to that information. Even the Commission rules do not allow for us to see who is looking at the platform, unless, of course, they have the ECAS ID. And even then, it's not that straightforward. We only have a name and an email address, so we don't know whether it's an investor or so. But we will be launching a survey and asking these questions on the usage when the platform becomes more mature and more well-known, because at this point, you know, it's still at the growing stage.
Sorry, there is one question asking about the quality of investors reacting to the platform, or let's say in general, any reactions or expression of interest about the results already presented in the platform, if there is a quality check on who is responding on them.
Look, we have had a few pitching events through other platforms. Okay, so this is important because, as I said to you before, we collaborate with other platforms. In 2020, we worked together with the EIC, and they brought in Euroquity. Euroquity is a platform with a group of investors behind, and the desk officers of Euroquity went through the proposals, the pitch decks of some of the companies coming from the Horizon Results platform, and they evaluated them. So the way it works basically is we offer a pool of these results, and the investors, or the intermediaries, if you like, the analysts, filter through these results, and they select those that are more mature for investors, and then these investors come in and listen to their pitches. In the event that we had last year, it was quite successful because we had at least out of the 8 companies that pitched in that event, we had 5 coming from the Horizon Results platform, and 3 came from the EIC. I can't remember where. And then later, earlier this year, with the Blue Invest, we had a very interesting event with the so-called Blue Economy project results, and we had some very interesting selections. Now, usually the way it works with investors is that there is an intermediary and an analyst behind, and those people select the solutions based on their maturity criteria, and then they present them to investors. And the investors that have been invited, I don't know them personally to know whether they are investors who have money and who are good investors or have good track records, but obviously, if they're coming with these platforms, then there must be a reason that they have a good track record and they're not just spending our time for nothing. The European Business Angels Network is a very renowned network. The Business Angels Europe Network is a very renowned network, and it's also a network of national business angels networks. So we trust that we are going to the right place to look for investors, and we hope that this is the case.
Thank you. And I suggest to close with one question and one, let's say, suggestion. The question says, when you will share the contacts to get involved, as well as if we have problems concerning the use of the platform. Two different contacts. I mean, it's a general question asking how we can approach you and your team for any kind of questions regarding the platform and guidance or assistance on how to perfectly use it.
Okay, so if I can put something in the chat now, I will put to, how can I put everyone? Yes, let me put the email address that you can contact us, myself and my team, ec-horizon-results-platform@ec.Europe. So
very good, we can see it.
What will happen in the next few months in terms of the EU missions portfolio or any other campaigns is the following. There will be some kind of a, because the missions are organized, we are a small part of this EU mission effort, so you are aware. There are the so-called mission boards that will be nominated in the coming weeks or months. These mission boards will be supported by the mission secretariats, and these mission secretariats are going to be in the Commission. The mission boards are going to be from external stakeholders, external personalities, but the coordinating entity of the missions is going to be in RTD, in our unit G4, I believe. Anyway, and we will be drafting letters that will come from our Director General to the projects, and at that stage, we could involve you through the coordinating entity from our other unit G3 and the desk officer Nicolo Quersi. So we don't know exactly how it's going to happen, but we will make sure to notify Nicolo, and Nicolo will then disseminate this news to your network, and then we can see how this can be managed logistically. But for any questions on the platform, feel free to send us a mail at the functional mailbox I just sent you.
Thank you, Georgios. And with the last, let's say, suggestion, I would like to open for a short period of time the floor for any other comments or discussion points that our colleagues would like to raise. The idea is that in the recent months, there are a lot of workload for the NCPs and a lot of duties and especially difficulties to cope with them when it comes to the newly appointed NCPs. So there is an idea to, if it is possible, to devote some part of the platform to the duties, roles, responsibilities of the NCPs. I assume that the NCPs right now, they do not have any kind of strongly connected responsibility vis-a-vis the platform, beside the fact to promote it and provide guidance on that. And this is the scope of this webinar as well. And I'm not aware if there is any idea behind from the commissions to include the Horizon results platform as a responsibility of in the duties of the NCPs. I mean, the statement highlights of course, the interest and the willingness of some NCPs to get involved on the Horizon Results platform promotion and involvement. So your comments, Georgios.
Okay, so I'm trying to read the question. The question is, for the new NCPs, it is a little bit difficult. Is it possible to devote some part of the platform to the duties, roles, and responsibilities of NCPs? It will be easy to find everything in one window, and we will be very safe not to miss any action and activities that our NCP is responsible for. I'm not sure exactly how NCPs can be involved on the platform. We can keep you in the loop with everything that is going on with respect to Horizon Results platform, of course. But I am not sure exactly what the question is.
Me too. I understood it. I understand it as a willingness to get involved in the whole process, even deeper from the dissemination or guidance to our clients. So with this comment, I would like to open the floor for any one of you that would like to make any further statement or a comment regarding the points that previously Georgios present, or any comment on the statements for further discussion.
There is a question from someone, do I refer to the ERC matchmaking platform or the future widening platform? I am not aware of an ERC matchmaking platform.
Yeah, me too. I can see right now the question. I will ask the attendee to provide further comments and further info on what he or she is asking for. Otherwise, I assume that the colleague can use the functional mailbox to address his or her question with more clarifications.
Okay. Yes. Feel free to send me an email, of course.
Yeah. I cannot see any raised hand right now. So as we have already exceeded our time, I think that we are coming to the end of today's webinar. So once again, I would like to thank you, Georgios, for this thorough presentation, and of course, all of you for your presence here today, your questions, and of course, your constructive and fruitful comments. So as a take-home message, visit the Horizon Results platform, explore the opportunities, and advise your clients. As Georgios said, results do matter. And as the Commissioner Gabriel stated during the presentation of the platform, using the platform, your results can flourish into innovations and long-term contribute to the society and the economy, and of course for our European sustainable future. That's all by us. Don't forget to fill in the questionnaire. Your opinion again counts. So that's all. I don't know if Georgios, you would like to make any further or last comment. I would like to thank you personally and once again for your contribution and willingness to participate today.
I would just like to thank everyone for their attention. I know it's been a little bit of a long monologue from my side, and just want to send a message that, you know, we really count, and you know, we would really value your collaboration in this. Just make your beneficiaries aware of the platform and be involved when you can and however you can and however you want. But I think it's a really nice tool and it's easy to access, and it can really help our beneficiaries. So thank you for your time, and thank you for the invitation, George and Christakis.
Very good. Thank you very much, Georgios. Thank you all for your presence and stay tuned for the next bridge webinar coming. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.